Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good. So, last session we did investigate NetPacket madness. Now, for current state, so we did a change here for this one to make it robust. I wonder, player ID. So this get player ID. Let me see if there are any other places where it does unsafe things with it. Like here, for example. Process file progress, yeah. File ID. Yeah. Max slots. Map. So looks like we have more here. Let's do player ID. Unsigned int player ID. Const if player ID is larger, it's smaller than max slots. Player ID. Let's do const file ID is unsigned short, file ID. Okay. Do we have any other? Here we have a check. I don't know why it checks larger equals 0. It's unsigned int. It can only be larger than that. So I think we can remove this check. Same here. Player ID. Here we have another one. Early validation checks. If player ID if this is larger equal max slots, then return true. turn true, the command should not be relayed. Yeah. Turn true. Okay, and then this one is okay. And then we can also remove this test here. Player ID. Return. Player ID. Disconnect chat. Set byte. Int. I think this one should be integer. If player ID is larger or equal max slots, return or we say else if smaller this and that. Wow, why are there so many parentheses here? Player ID. Const slot. I think here we need to do if player ID is larger or equal max slots. Then return. Can do this here, and then we remove this. Let's rename this to player ID. Let's add this here. unsigned int. Okay. Priority. Good. I hope that this is fine. Unsigned bytes. Unsigned int. Let's also say here, which I equal this. Return. Okay. Play ID. This one also needs to be integer. Play ID. Num connections. Well, max slots. Else debug crash. Relay. Uh, um, if so, to me it looks like here we also remove the condition, and here connection to packet router is null. I think here we can also remove the condition. Player ID. Yeah. Player ID. Here we can also do player ID. Player ID. Player ID. Oh man. So, player ID. That one looks unsafe. If player ID is larger equal max slots, return player ID Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's all. Connection manager. Yeah. Let's see. Connection manager. Connection manager. Debug assert crash. Here we can do remove this. What about this else? I think here we can also remove that. Okay, fair enough. We can remove this one here. Okay, it's not that much, luckily. So let's go through it one more time. So if it's larger than max slots, return true, yes. If this one here we have, then basically this is obsolete because it's already checked here. Yeah. Here we have player ID. We make it unsigned int. We could make it also const. Player ID, make it const, yeah. Okay. And I think there are more of these guys. Here's another one. Const. Here's another one. Make them all const. There you go. Okay. So we have const. If it's larger than max slots, then return. Okay, here unsigned player ID. Da da da. Okay, is player connected? ID. Okay. Player ID. Okay, to me this looks all correct. Let's run a network test to see if the game still works. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, we launch this guy. And then we launch another guy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Multiplayer network. Mm-hmm. Okay, create game. There we go. Accept play. Okay. Hmm. All right. And we have an instant disconnect. Well, that didn't work well. Okay, that's interesting. Man, this code is so brittle. So what mistake did we make? Player ID, larger max slots. Interesting. That's that is unfortunate. So what did we do wrong here? We probably inversed some logic somewhere. Okay. This one is strange here. Okay, I don't see the mistake right now. Player ID smaller max slots. Frame data. Frame data. Whew, okay. What did we do wrong here? Oh, now it's back. Maybe it was just some freak of nature. I have no idea what that was. Okay, the game works. Let me restart this. Let's try that again. That's okay. Okay. That's interesting. So it seems to work in principle. Okay, we are also still logging out the stuff here. Here. So if we search for written into packets, yeah, written into packets, how many hits do we get? A lot, apparently. Oh boy. Enough to make the notepad crash. Yeah. Maybe we should have locked out the count and not the actual individual lines. Okay, wow, I didn't expect it to take that long. Maybe I just should have just pressed count. Yeah. Let me see how fast is count. Find count. 200,000. Yeah. And not written into packet. How much do we get of these? Oh, also a lot. 99,000. Okay. Not written into packet. Last relay 2. Huh. Okay, so it does. Huh. Okay, so there is significant optimization there. So it's not just zeros, but it's often zeros. It's often zeros. Yeah, but sometimes it's some other number. Last relay 2. Okay, interesting. How did the number 2 end up in there though? Last relay 2. Guess we just take it for granted then. Okay, but it seems to be a significant optimization that saves a bunch of bytes. So it looks like we need to preserve that. Oops. Yeah. 148,000 bytes. Yeah. So it saves like 50%. 50 half. No, not half. A third. It saves a third of the data of the top bytes in the packets. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, well then we should keep that, I guess. Okay. I suspect it's favorable for player 0, right? The first player that needs to send the least data around because of player ID 0. And relay 0 helps, whatever that is. Yeah, but this, yeah. So let me see, not written into packet. I think it's mostly zeros. Let's do a click again here on this, which will take a while. I'm not sure if that will be faster. Making it static means it goes into the data segments. So the runtime, so the assembler would need to copy from data segments to stack. Whereas which of course is fast, but maybe writing stack well, it doesn't go into, yeah, it needs to wait, it also needs to write, right? Needs to write and read from data segments, but maybe write and read from hotcode path to stack to heap buffer to heap buffer, which of course is fast, but maybe write and read from code segments, stack to heap buffers. It's fine. It would need to be measured. Unclear to me if that would give anything for performance. To the data segments. We would need to write and read from data segment to heap buffer. course is fast, but maybe write and read from data segment to stack. Heap buffer is fine. Code instructions and stack are hot. Data segments. Data segments. Maybe not as hot. Yeah, so it's really not clear if this would give making the static would be good or not. So let's take a look through this list here. So we see a lot of zeros, but sometimes relay is 2. But otherwise, and last command is also some value here. Yeah, okay, so it's not always 0, but that's the most. But sometimes it's some other values as well. Interesting. Okay. Good. Then I think we need to preserve this because it does have a benefit. Yeah. Okay. Well, good to know. Okay, but then for these guys, I would say we have this and this. Disconnect, connection. Okay. Let me look over the connection manager one more time. In regards to max slots. Oh, damn. Damn. So regarding the num connections thingy, num connections, m connections, it's using max slots. I think we should use that. Which begs the question, what is num connections used for? What is num connections for? Connection numbers. Max slots. Well, this is the same, yeah. Same number. Connections. I think we can remove this then. Okay. Then I would say we do a fix connection fix unsafe player ID handling in connection manager, comma disconnect manager. It's a player ID usage. Okay. Then let's do a stash. Then we go to main branch. Then we do a fix net packets, unsafe player ID. Then we cherry pick this commit. Automatically create a commit, yes. Then we push it. Okay. Then here we say connections. Okay. This change fixes unsafe player ID usage. This was noticed when this problem surfaced as an actual crash point, crash remote client crash event when an invalid player ID was sent in a packet across over the network. Packet to the remote client. This problem surfaced as an actual remote client crash event when an invalid player ID was sent in a packet to a remote client. This change now guards all relevant player ID usages with appropriate bound checks with an appropriate max slots bound check. Additionally, connections was removed because it is a duplicate of max slots, and all player large ID tests were removed. Because player ID is an unsigned integer. then try to use that value as an index to erase. So this is a security major bug. Say fix gen zh network. Stability. Which place did we see the crash? It was this one. This one, send remote command. In function. Good. Let's see if greptile is happy with it, or if we have some bug in there. Okay. Good. Then let's wait for a moment. In the meantime, let's take a look at this here again. The pull title says tweak, but the comments have 2 bug fix. I changed it to say bug fix now. Initially, I was considering this as a tweak, but after more testing, it does appear to be a considerable bug fix. Okay. Fair enough. Maybe reboot this. Okay. I was just wanting to minimize changes that could cause issues. In theory, it shouldn't be a problem to set it to max packet size. But with how bad the rest of the netcode is, I didn't want to accidentally overlook something. Okay. Okay. Then let me approve this. Okay. Okay. Then I think we can press the approve button here. So greptile says 4 of 5. Fix this critical security vulnerability, but has one remaining unaddressed bounce checking issue. Okay, where's that? Addresses reported crash, batting bounce checking to 7+ locations. However, the isPlayer connected helper function still lacks bounce at line 305. Is that so? Connection manager. Line 305. Aha. Aha. Okay. 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 Is player connected? Player connected. Yeah. Player connected. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure. Because it is outside. I mean, there's a case to make that maybe it should be inside, but on the other hand, maybe not, because it's used in loops where we already are guaranteed that it's not larger than max slots. So I don't agree that it should be in this function, but here maybe it should be protected in here. How's this one called here? Yeah, that's fine. Is player connected? Yeah, I don't agree that there should be a check inside. You can put an assert inside. How about that? I think that would be fine. Yeah. Yeah, let's put an assert inside. Debug assert crash. Player ID is smaller max slots. Debug crash. Let's take that. %D is an invalid player number. There we go. It's assert to that. Did it compile, by the way? Yeah. Additional comments. Okay. I don't think does not look like this player connected needs a test, but I did add an assert to clarify the expectation. Okay. It's fair. There's probably nothing to it in the grand scheme of things, since we don't need to persist any values. Also, any values between calls. To write a rate. Yeah. Yeah, we can revisit this when it indeed shows up in debugger and profiler. I doubt it will. Okay. Then Then let's see if greptile will be happy now. Vulnerable array accesses, yeah. Still not happy. Uses the debug only assert without a runtime bounce check. Yeah. Because it's not necessary. That's why there's an assert. Only fires in debug builds. In release builds, if player ID is out of range, the function proceeds to access without any runtime guard, causing an out of bounds array access. It is not necessary to put a runtime test. Put a non-debug test in there. The expectation is that this never happens, which is what the assert is made for. Okay, good. I'm done with that one. Then let's go back to our other refactor net packets. Let's actually do a rename and let's call it work in progress net packet refactor. Yeah. Oh, we have another one here. Ah, this one we can delete, all right? Yeah, this one we can delete because we already submitted all these things here. Protect text length value. Consistent names. Okay, let's delete this one. Okay, and then we stash pop. Good, all right. Then oh boy. Oh boy. So, good. So now we know that we want to preserve the the memory of some of the fields. What do we call it? I don't know. Net packet. These guys here. Yeah. The optimization. Yeah. Which makes it more complicated, right? Yeah, if necessary, put the relay into the packet. Yeah. So how do we write this now so that it how do we write it so that it properly works? Yeah, it's a bit of a sticky situation. Yeah, yeah. Tricky situation. Yeah. So we can't really reuse these thingies here, which is an absolute shame. How do we organize this? Yeah, it's really unfortunate situation. I wonder, so these fill functions, yeah? Fill. Where are they? Here, the fill functions. So this one is only used for big command packets, yeah? And then, so big packet data wrapper. Aha, it comes in a wrapper. Set data size this packet. Okay, so there is a wrapper. Okay. I still have a drinking problem, he says. Okay, buffer size, fill buffer, packet data. Boah, this is absolute annoying, isn't it? I do wonder, so when we set this wrapper message, here, wrapper message is net wrapper command message. Let me search for this guy. Add wrapper command. Yeah. Here. Data. Read wrapper message. Data. How do we at which point do we get the contents of the wrapper message? That I don't yet understand. Must be here, right? Let me see. Read wrapper message. Data offset. Message. I don't understand. At which point do we unwrap the wrapper message? It must be somewhere, right? Right now, I don't see it. Read file message. Oh, reinterpret cast. Oh. Ugh. Okay, right now I don't understand how this wrapper message is unwrapped. Like, at which point do we see its data? Like, this here, set data. Then what? What do we do with this? Set data. And now what? What do we do with this? Set data. Get data length. Get data. Let's search for this. Copy chunk data. And then chunks present. What is this doing? Chunks. Get raw data. Get ready commands. Red list add message. Okay, so this is the point where the wrapper commands, wrapped commands will be pushed here into a command list. Okay. Okay, and then what? What do we do from here? Get ready commands. Okay. Process net commands. Process net command. was this? Process. This is chat. And how did it read them before that? So get ready commands. Let's go back in there. So here we have the raw data, and then construct net message, command message from raw data. Okay, let's take a look in that. Huh. Ah, okay. So it's just one command in there. Okay. Okay. So this thing is called here, and then there's probably another call site somewhere, right? No, there's just one call site for it. What the hell? Yeah. Does everything go through the wrapper? I'm confused. Hmm. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't fully understand that yet. Why is I would have thought that there's another call site that calls it on a non-wrapped command. But maybe everything is wrapped. But it would not be necessary for small packets, right? That is strange. Wrapper list node. List. Interesting. Net command message. Yeah, so yeah, I'm surprised that there's only this one call site for it. Okay. So then I guess everything goes through this. But then why do we I still don't understand. Why do we have fill buffer and then add this? What is the difference between this one and this? Why? So this is static. This is not static. But add a player leave command to the packet. Okay. But this one essentially does the same. It fills a buffer, and this one also writes into a buffer. What is the difference? I don't understand. Why do we have two? Read, fine. Fine, we want to read, yes. But why do we have two write functions? This is a write and this is a write. What is the difference? Why do we have two? Okay, let's see where this is called. Add command. So add command adds this command to the packet. Add command. Send net command. Adds it to the packet. Tempref. Message. Aha, there's a net command message and a net command ref. Huh. Okay, what's the difference between a message and a ref? Aha. 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 Okay. Aha, these are no, but these are the same. They both take ref. Net command ref. They Okay, I'm still none the wiser. So send net command message. We give it a net command message, which is this thing. It's the memory representation of a command. Okay, fair. And then we create a net command ref from that, which is something. Something. Okay, and then, oh man. Okay, I still don't understand why we have two write packet buffer functions variants. It makes no sense. There's no documentation why that is. Adds this command to the packet. Returns false if there wasn't enough room in the packet for this message. True otherwise. Okay, but what's the point? Man. What's the point? So this one will only write for big command packet list. We don't have a unique command ID, then the rep command cannot be identified. Does command. Okay, so if message fits, then we continue here. If the message doesn't fit, then we create a wrapped command and then it creates it again. Then we go the second. Yeah. So what I can say right now, these functions here, they are used when we have a big message that doesn't fit into one packet. Then it needs to create this wrapped command. Okay. And here it adds it directly into the packet. It fits. We're good to go. But both of these, essentially, they do the same thing. They write it into a buffer. And I don't understand why they don't use the same function under the hood. Like they both write the command data into the buffer, into a buffer, but they do it both times in a custom way, like in their own implementation, and it's duplicate implementation. They may not be exactly the same, but fundamentally they are meant to do the same thing. And why is this split? It's so bad. It really is bad. So, but I think what we need to do is we need to fix up this guy. So this one is already like refactored and it's now short and concise, right? So if we go to the fill functions here, right? So you see it looks pretty good to the eye, right? Pretty simple. But that's not yet the case for the other ones, for these ones. I think, so before we can merge these guys here, these two, I think we first need to simplify these guys. Because right now it's just a mess. And it's hard to see the differences. Yeah. Okay, so I think in the end, the desired result is that both these writes use the same thing under the hood, the same packet write function under the hood, a static function, yeah, which looks exactly like this one. Exactly like this. From the interface, I mean. Not from the contents, just the interface. So we give it a buffer, and then please write this message into the buffer. Yeah. Without any compression, repetition. All of the required fields are taken into account when returning the size. Okay, that's a difference. Maybe that's why they have a difference, because that was the intention. Without any compression, repetition. All of the required fields are taken into account. Maybe that's why they have two versions. I see. By the way, why were these not removed here? I think they can be removed. Let's add a note here. These functions write the command without any compression, repetition, etc. All of the required fields are taken into account when writing to the buffer. Good, then we can remove these because they were already removed. The respective commands. Oh. Get Um, how about we say put this function here. This function turns the size of the command without any compression. And here we say this function writes the respective commands. The commands without any compression. All of the required fields are taken into account when writing to the buffer. Let's do that. I would like to construct big packets. I think they used the capital function name to signal that these guys belong together. Yeah. Let's not ask too many questions about this. Yeah. Okay. Vector net packets. Remove unneeded. Remove obsolete function declarations. Obsoleted function declarations in net packets. Packet text links. What's the problem? Since this is a local variable, this offset adjustment. Yep. Yes, I have a follow-up refactor for later that cleans this up outside the scope of this change. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, man, we didn't make all that much advancements here. So we need to preserve this conditioning if necessary. How do we simplify this code now? How do we simplify this? We need to there's room for frame message. Command execution. So for example, let's go to resend request command. Resend request command, yeah. So here. So the reset request command, it has a command type. Yeah, we have it here. It has a relay. This one has an execution frame. Player ID. Relay here and command ID. Yeah. And then the data header here. Yeah. Need new command ID. Okay. Last command +1. It's not. Okay, I still don't know yet how we simplify this. his room. I wonder if we need to introduce packet frame command net packet frame. Good. Maybe. I have some idea what we could do. Data. I have a rough idea of where we're going here. I think we need to take out the data part. The data part out. And then because the data part is used in let's see. Data. Read chat message. Oof, that also looks unsafe here. Huh. That looks unsafe. Man, this code. Read. Yeah. Read. Copy. Data. Yeah. Read game message. Command message. What is this ref here used for? Okay, I think I will take a break here. There's more thinking we need to do about it. I think what we will end up is certainly a new set of these structs. But then I wonder if we like take out the data of these. Or not. I'm not sure. We could take it out, or we don't. Okay. Good. Take a break here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.